What's up everybody? Welcome back to the Chug Nerd YouTube channel. Today we are going to be taking a proper look at this beautiful, amazing guitar. Let me tell you what it's all about. Alright, welcome back to the Chug Nerd YouTube channel everybody. My name is DJ. I'm a guitarist from the southwest of the UK. I've been playing guitar for about 20 years or so now. I play in a band. My band is called HollowKin, and this Friday we are dropping a brand new single. The single is called Fragile Beings. It's going to be available everywhere.
Our dreams were tossed up in flame, fulfilled and carried the
If you want to check it out, I will leave some links down below and you can check it out and find it. If you go on to enjoy any of the riffs that are featured in this video, then think HollowKin is very much the same, just with beautiful shouty screamy bits over the top of it from my singer James. Anyway, a bit of a shameless plug moved out the way. I did just want to mention one very quick thing before we get into this video proper. You are currently watching me through my Fuji XM5 brand new DSLR camera. Up until this point, I've been filming everything on my iPhone 15 Pro Max, but if you watched my 6 months on YouTube video that I put up a couple of weeks ago, you'll see that it was my goal to start using a proper camera to film my videos. I haven't fully acquainted myself with the camera yet. I'm doing my best, but if this video looks a little different to some of my other videos, hopefully better, but it might look worse for the time being, then that is the reason why. Anyway, we are not here to talk about cameras, and we're not here to talk about my band. We are here to talk about this guitar right here. This beautiful instrument is my Epiphone Les Paul Jared James Nichols Gold Glory. However, this is my Jared James Nichols Gold Glory Epiphone Les Paul, and it has been heavily modified, and there is only two parts of this guitar that are still original. I reckon let's get ourselves into a demo and then we'll jump in to what this guitar is all about. I will warn you in advance, I got a bit carried away with this demo and I actually ended up writing an entire song that we're going to use in HollowKin. It's a riff that I've had for years and years. We call it DJ's favorite riff, and I've just rewritten it into a brand new song. So you're going to get a bit of a preview of a future HollowKin song here, so enjoy. Signal chain for today's video is going to be the same as it always is for pretty much all of my videos, unless I say otherwise. It's going to be the guitar, in this case the Jared James Nichols Epiphone Les Paul Gold Glory, going into my Focusrite Scarlett Solo interface. That's going to be going into GarageBand, and in GarageBand I've got the Neural DSP SLO 100 plugin loaded up, and that's where your tones are coming from. Drums in the demo are going to be coming from the Nolly Get Good Drums One Kit Wonder Metal Drum Pack, and the bass is just recorded by me live into whatever bass amp simulator I can find that sounds good on GarageBand. I think it's called Stinger, but it's nothing special. It's just to get the bass in there. So what I like to do at this point of the video is check out some specifications of the guitar that we're looking at. However, there really isn't any point in me running down the specs of what this guitar was when it was new, because it is barely that guitar anymore. So let's roll some beautiful B-roll, check this thing shining and sparkling in the beautiful British autumn sunlight, and have a look at what this guitar was and what it now is. So this is the Epiphone Les Paul Jared James Nichols signature Gold Glory guitar, which is his second signature from Epiphone based off of his original, which was called Old Glory, which is a black version of this, super similar. So things about this guitar that are going to be still completely original are going to be the fact that it's got a mahogany body, a mahogany neck, and it's got an ebony fingerboard. We've got beautiful 7-ply binding on the top and 5-ply black binding on the headstock. The body finish is an aged gloss. We've got 22 medium jumbo nickel frets with pearloid block inlays. The neck is glued in, or set neck, whichever one you prefer. We got a nut width of 43mm or 1.69 inches with a fingerboard radius of 304.8mm or 12 inches. Scale length is 628mm or 24.72 inches, and we've got one volume and one tone pot with CTS potentiometers on it. As for everything else, it's either been upgraded or changed. So let's start with the bridge. We've got a Wilkinson wraparound bridge, and we've got a DiMarzio Super Distortion P90 sized humbucker where the Seymour Duncan Dog Ear P90 was originally. We've got the same tone pot with the CTS potentiometers, however we've upgraded the volume pot, which now has a coil split in it. Tuners have been changed out from Goto tuners to Goto locking tuners in a beautiful tuxedo black. We've got a black Graphtec nut, and we've got shallow strap locks. So if you're unfamiliar with the story of why this guitar means so much to me, I have done a separate video on it. But in short, this guitar I actually sold a number of years ago when I was trying to get some funds together to upgrade some of my stage equipment, amps and pedal boards and the like. And ever since I sold it, I regretted it, but I've stayed in touch with the guy that I sold it to, a lovely chap from Bristol by the name of David, and he very kindly offered to sell it back to me when I asked him. So I picked this up. Actually, I picked this up just as we started our Weekender tour a few weeks ago, and the same day that I picked it up from Bristol, we were actually playing in Bristol that night, and so I had to get to the gig early and change out what was, I think, 9s on here for the 12 to 64s that I've now got on this guitar, and set it up from standard in to drop A. And that was a fun process doing that while we were getting ready for sound check, and then I used it for the entire tour apart from our London show, but again, there's a video about that up here in the cards. Didn't go to plan, and I ended up playing bass. More about that in this video. But yeah, I ended up using this for the whole tour. I had to kind of change up my way of playing because I'm so used to playing on a 7-string, but I was determined and desperate to use this particular guitar for the whole tour. I love it so much, and honestly, it sounds incredible. Some of my favorite things about this guitar are the fact that it's a single pickup guitar. I love that. I think it is just straight to the point. It knows what it's trying to be. I know it's originally a blues guitar, but this works so well as a metal guitar and for what I use it for. I love, hopefully I can get it to focus, I love the headstock up here, that open book Epiphone headstock based off of the Kalamazoo Gibson headstock. Absolutely love that. I love the fact that it's got a stinger on the back, that black paint on the headstock on the back there, and it's obviously got Jared James Nichols autograph or signature on the back there as well. Love that. This guitar is a dream to play. It plays so nice. Absolutely not what you'd expect from a metal guitar, because it isn't a metal guitar, it's a blues guitar, so we haven't got super massive frets or anything like that, but it does what I need to do so well. And how can we talk about things we love about this without talking about that absolutely stunning carved top on this as well, and the way the light, especially under stage lights, it just catches across the guitar and you can really see, oh, it's just got a beautiful carve to it. I love it. Things about this guitar I'm not super in love with. The fact that the fret markers only go up to 15. I've heard some different stories about why that is, and I believe that's the case on all three of Jared's signature guitars. I've heard different stories about production issues that he then signed off because he actually kind of liked it. I've heard that it was a specification that he particularly wanted, but I have no idea why. If you know why, please let me know in the comments. But yeah, fret marker only goes up to 15 on the front and the side, and as you'll see in some of the B-roll that I put up from when I was getting this ready before the gig, you'll see I've had to put some Sharpie on the neck up here on the top of the fretboard so that I could actually see what I was doing, because obviously I'm playing this live. I need to see where I am on the fretboard. So I'm going to be getting some loom inlay dots on this eventually, so that is just a temporary fix. I can easily rub that off. It's just Sharpie, so I can easily get that off. And yeah, but it's just a weird design choice to only have markers up to the 15th fret. I do personally prefer guitars with 24 frets as well, so 22 frets is a fraction limiting, and it is a shame that they didn't do 24 considering all of this real estate up here. They could have easily taken it to 24 frets up here without changing anything, but I guess that's not what Jared wanted in his signature, and it is his signature after all, so it is what it is. Lastly, the other thing that I ain't so keen on is this bridge. The wraparound bridge is not my favorite type of bridge. I have to be honest. It's fine. It does what it needs to do. I just feel like it's really fiddly. You can dial in the intonation quite as well as I would like to. Like if I had like a Tune-O-Matic on here, for example, that would definitely have been my preference, something way more traditional that you'd find on a Les Paul. And I always feel like with a wraparound bridge, there's just a bit too much tension on the bridge, pulling the posts, and there's no other support for the bridge. I could be wrong, maybe it's designed to be like that, don't know, but I just always feel like I'm scared that this is just going to rip out and pull out of the body, but hopefully it won't. So I mentioned in my original video on this why we changed the pickup. Now I wasn't a massive fan of the Seymour Duncan Dog Ear P90 that was in here. It was fine, it was perfect for what it was meant to do, which is blues and rock and hard rock, absolutely great. But for what I wanted to use it for, it just wasn't tickling my pickle. It just wasn't floating my boat. So I reached out to my friend Mark. Mark owns an amazing lutherie business called Wilt's Guitar Repairs, and he recommended the DiMarzio Super Distortion. It's the only pickup that we could find that would fit in this, and we had to have a 3D printed mount made as well for that dog ear because it's mounted to the top of the body like a really super traditional like 50s Les Paul would be. 50s? 60s? I don't know. Doesn't matter. So that's why we went with the DiMarzio Super Distortion, and I think it absolutely rips. It is a noisy pickup. I do have to have the noise gate cranked not to have a lot of noise with this guitar while I'm playing it or while I'm recording, but it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. It sounds killer in this instrument. The other cool thing that we added was the push-pull on the volume pot. I specifically asked Mark not to change out the tone pot. I know Jared, when he was making this, the tone pot is a super versatile thing for him when he's playing. He only plays with a single pickup guitar. When it comes to these, he plays with fingers as well, which is, I honored that by doing my lead section on this with fingers rather than a pick, and actually rather enjoyed it. And so I wanted to keep the tone pot because it's really, really aggressive with its sweep. It really does make a difference. I'm not usually one that's to play and mess about with the tone pot, but this one in particular does its job really, really well. But the volume pot, we wanted to add a little bit of versatility, and that's why we put that push-pull in there to do a coil split, and it works great, especially when we're doing things like cleans. Chimes up real nice. Quality of life improvements as well with the lock-in tuners on the headstocks. Had to go with Go-To lock-in tuners. I love these lock-in tuners. I've got them on a few guitars. They work really, really well. Shallow strap locks as well, just because otherwise I will lose my guitar because I'm pretty aggressive on stage with the way that I perform. So I have to have something that's going to hold my guitar onto me whilst I'm jumping around like an idiot on stage. And this is what I use on all my guitars. So all my straps universally change across all of my guitars. Currently on this guitar, I have it strung with these. These are Jim Dunlop Jim Root signature strings, 12 to 64 strings. I've used these before. I used to have a Jim Root Jazzmaster that I tried to get down to drop A, just like Jim does. But I really don't like them at all. I brought them just because I've used them before and I know they can get to drop A. Obviously this is a bit shorter than a Fender scale length, being 25.5 inch, this being 24.75 scale. And I just really don't like them. I don't know if you've personally used these strings before or not, but they're really, really rubbery. Really, they're not snappy at all. They lack any kind of crispness. Now, normally I use on my 7 strings these. These are the D'Addario NYXL 11 to 62 strings. And although these are a lighter gauge string, they're way snappier than these are. And I have proof that they can go to 24.75 because this, my Traveler EG1, is currently set up with Damasio MYXL 11-64s, those strings that I just showed you. And this holds tune amazing, it plays amazing. It's super snappy when you hit the strings, they're super responsive. But these Jim Dunlop ones are I just don't enjoy them at all. I just don't think they're very nice strings at all. If you've ever used these strings, let me know what you think of them, because I just don't get on with them at all. The main reason I bought these is, like I said, I've used them before. They have a plain third string. I don't want a wound third string on a 6-string guitar. Get away with it on a 7 because you've got 3 plain and then 4 wound on the bottom end. But because I didn't want to be using a wound string on what is like a lead string for this, I bought these just because I've used them before and I was like, I'll just get them because I know what they're like. Even though I didn't particularly enjoy them, I knew they would do the trick for the time being. But I just don't like them at all. Just not a big fan. And that is probably gonna do it for today's video. I really wanted to get this video knocked out. I wanted to get some tones up for this guitar. I wanted to get a demo written for this guitar, and I wanted to tell the world about this amazing guitar. So let me know what you think about this Epiphone Les Paul Jared James Nichols Gold Glory heavily modified Les Paul. I love it. I absolutely love this guitar. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video, everybody. I am on my way to 1,000 subscribers at the moment. I'm trying to get there before the end of the year. So if you feel like you want to come back and hang out another time talking about guitars, then please give that subscribe button a little bit of a gentle nudge. And while you're there, feel free to drop a comment down below. Love having an interaction with people down in the comments section. I've met so many new people and had conversations with people in the comments section of my videos, and I really thoroughly enjoy and look forward to it. Drop a like as well if you've enjoyed this video, or any of the tones or anything about it. It's all massively appreciated, and it really goes a long way to helping a small channel like me grow, find a new audience, and fight against that almighty YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much again for joining me, everybody. I'll look forward to catching up with you again real soon in another video. Take care till then. In a bit.